everyone, welcome to a new video, welcome to my channel. My name is Mike and today we are going to be doing a update of the Catrice and Essence products for the fall winter season of 2020-2021. So I did a first impression with all of these products in I think September and October. I'll make sure to link those videos down below in case you would like to see my first impression where I apply all of these on my face. I will also be linking to any reviews that I did with these products over on my blog. I think I have reviews up with most of these, if not all. There's a few products I haven't tried enough of yet that I'll just sort of give you my first thoughts. That I did use products more often than that one video, I have to say. But not sometimes enough to really write a full review. I like to be able to use products at least for a solid week or two before I write a review about them, and I haven't had a chance with all of these products just yet. But yeah, the most important ones I did already try enough. So we're just going to get started and we're going to just go through the way in which I would do my makeup. So we're gonna start with base and then we go all the way to lips and setting spray. And then we'll talk about everything that's in my little bin today. Let's just get started with primer. So for primer, both Essence and Catrice came out with new primers. Catrice came out with the, they're doing a skincare kind of line right now. And they came out with the Glow Beautifying Face Oil. And then you might think, face oil. But it says here, use alone or as a base under makeup. So it can be used as a primer or as a skincare product, depending on what you would like to do. And I'm not sure if you can see, but it has little specks of something in it. And those specks of shimmer kind of glooped together at the bottom of the bottle. And if I put it sideways, it will do it on the side, and I can never fully shake it up and get things to really come together. I also found this broke up my foundation quite a bit. I didn't like it as much. Essence actually did a face oil, I think in the springtime, as part of their Blossom Me Up limited edition collection, and that I did like. But this one wasn't my favorite. So that's why this one I think I will be decluttering once I do a declutter in 2021. It was okay for a face oil, it's okay, but I wouldn't recommend this as a primer. Now, the primer by Essence is one that I haven't tried a lot yet, but I'm very excited for this one. I'm currently still using one up, and I tend to first use up a primer before I go on to the next one. So I hope to be able to try this more later this month. But this is the Prime & Studio Hydrating Skin Refreshing Primer. And this was lovely. It's a very creamy, lotiony kind of texture. I've used it once or twice outside of the video where I already tried it for the first time. It's okay. I don't think this is as hydrating as they make it sound. I definitely think that Catrice has better hydrating primers, but I tried looking for their new hydrating primer that Catrice was supposed to come out with, but I haven't found it in stores, and these products have already been out for 2 months. So there was one lipstick shade by Catrice and also their primer that just didn't come in. So by now I kind of lost interest. So maybe if they keep that hydrating primer in and it's here for the next round, I might pick it up then. So in case you're wondering why I've never tried the new hydrating primer by Catrice, it's because I haven't been able to find it, and I've been just prioritizing other products right now. I haven't really been buying much from Essence and Catrice, save for that Disney limited edition collection that I did a video with a few weeks ago. I'll link it in the eye above. So let's talk a little bit more about this skincare line that Catrice is doing, because I was also going in with the Hydro Depuffing Eye Serum, and this is from their skincare line. This was okay the first couple of times I used it. I just find you need to store this upside down to get the product out. And I don't know why, but every single time I use it, I feel like I only have enough product for one eye. And then I need to shake it, and it's a bit of a faff to use. I've tried some of these other products in the past, and those were just boop boop and I'm done. With this, even keeping it upside down, I feel there isn't enough product. It's almost as if there's too much of a closure and the product just won't come out well enough for it to really do anything for me. So I did try this. I liked it the first couple of times that I was using it, but as I started to use more of the product, it just became more and more difficult to get things out. And because this is hard solid plastic, I can't squeeze anything. I can't, like, it just won't come out. So maybe the product inside has just thickened up from using it, and that's why it won't come out. Or maybe there's just something wrong with the packaging. I don't know, but this was not in the end worth it, because after trying it for a longer period of time, I was like, it's just too much of a faff to use. Let's talk base, and so foundation. And I want to talk about the Essence Pretty Natural Foundation first. This is their new hydrating foundation. I have mine in the shade 020 Neutral Alabaster. The shade match is lovely. This foundation is lovely. It comes in a really nice tube. When you buy it, it is in a cardboard box, so that's perhaps good to know. Don't look for a tube, look for a box. And this comes in a ton of shades as well, but in order to get access to the full shade range, you do have to go online. They claim we don't have that much space in stores, which I kind of understand, so go online, but they don't then have the testers, so you still can see what a shade might look like, which for a base shade, you do want to know, kind of. So I kind of get it, and then again, I don't, like, just put other products not in your line and make space for your foundations, perhaps. But oh well, yeah, this is the Essence Pretty Natural Foundation, and I thought this looked lovely. It wore really well. I even was able to wear this for like a full day and then go to the gym, and then it still hadn't completely disappeared, which for a hydrating foundation is a really good job. This is a light to medium coverage though. This is not going to give you full coverage. And then, sad day, but the Catrice True Skin Foundation and Concealer, I'm not a fan. I know a lot of people like this, but I think this will work better if you have normal to oily skin rather than dry to dehydrated normal skin like I do. This foundation really glooped around my nose. This concealer showed all of the fine lines underneath my eyes. Everything looked exaggerated. Everything looked cakey. I tried using it with different primers, thinking it was the primer I was using. It wasn't. These just aren't great for what my skin needs in terms of a base product. Are these bad products? No, but they claim to be hydrating. It's a hydrating foundation and a high coverage concealer, hyaluronic with hyaluronic acid, and also the foundation claims to have that. I didn't find these hydrating at all. The most hydrating option that these two brands have come out with is the Pretty Natural Foundation. This is far more hydrating than these products are. I can't, like, I was hoping that this foundation, when it was announced, I was hoping this could beat the HD Liquid Radiance by Catrice, because that's one of my favorite Catrice foundations, but it was discontinued like a year and a half ago. It wasn't even released as widely because they have their regular HD foundation, but that's too drying for me as well. It looks very cakey on. And then they came with that Liquid Radiance version, and that's much more dewy and hydrating, so I love that. At first it didn't come in my shade, then it did come in my shade. So that till this day is my favorite Catrice foundation. This didn't beat it. It's just not hydrating enough for what I need. And then for the concealer, as I already mentioned, it showed fine lines. I think Catrice has other concealers in their line that just work a lot better. The problem is that I haven't really kept up to date with whether they still do it, but the liquid camouflage, if they still do it, I think is still better than this. So many years down the line, and that liquid camouflage one is still one of my top 5 favorite concealers at the drugstore. So, not this one. Sticking to face products then for a minute, we have a bronzer and a highlighter. The bronzer is by Essence. This is the Hello Good Stuff Matte and Glow Bronzer in the shade Cocoa Cool. I put this in a Shop My Stash to really try it out, and hallelujah, Essence is finally doing a bronzer that works with my skin tone. For a very long time, every Essence bronzer I tried was orange and muddy on me. It looked really, really terrible. Very, very sort of Oompa Loompa-esque. Not a great look. But this one is a bit more cool toned. It's a bit more neutral leaning. I don't find it very glowy, even though it's called the Glow and Matte Bronzer. So it's supposed to be this is glowy, this is matte. I don't think so, but this was lovely on the skin. And now if I You know, I like keeping an Essence bronzer around so that whenever I want to do a full face of Essence, I can do it. Or if I'm doing like a first impression and I'm doing the makeup look, I always have an Essence bronzer on hand. This is my favorite ever bronzer. By no means. It's good enough for the price point. It's affordable. It does now come in a light enough shade for people with my kind of skin tone. However, Essence shade ranges. Like they start doing 30 shades for their foundation and they still only do 2 shades for their bronzer. Essence. Ah, we all know how it goes, right? Catrice then. The More Than Glow highlighter. I tried this, put it in a Shop My Stash, and I love this. I have this in the shade Ultimate Platinum Gaze. And it's a really nice sort of like whitish goldy shade. It's a gold, but it has a cooler undertone. So it's like a cool tone gold, you could say. And I love this. Absolutely loved it. It's a gel to powder kind of formula. I kept Catrice palette around in my last declutter because I was like, that's the only Catrice product I'll need, because none of the singles really, I really liked them because the shades weren't great, because they were very icy white, and this has a bit of warmth to it. So now this has beaten the highlighter that I still have in that face palette. This is now my favorite Catrice highlighter for sure. In terms of like eye stuff, they came out with some new things. Let's talk about this first. Catrice came out with a new eyeshadow primer. This is the waterproof eyeshadow primer. I used it a few times. It made my eyeshadow stay put quite nicely, and I actually want to use this as part of my like makeup rotation. When my Lorac one runs out, then I'm going to be reaching for this one. It is a nice one. I have tried other eyeshadow primers by Catrice in the past, and they worked really, really well. I think this has replaced the one that I tried before it. It seemed to be fair enough. It is a clear sort of eyeshadow primer, so it doesn't do much in terms of color correcting on your lids if that's what you're looking for, but it made my eyeshadow stay put fine enough. And then also, and then by Essence, they came out with a mascara, and I didn't like this at all. I've only used it once or twice. I do have to say that the second time I used this, I used it a little bit later, and the formula had a bit of a chance to dry down a bit, and that's what I found. A lot of Essence mascaras need to really work very well. This is a volume mascara. It's okay. It's not mind-blowing. It doesn't even beat their, what's it called? False Lash Princess thing. That's still one of my all-time favorite mascaras. This is not it. And Essence came out with a brow product. This is the Brow Pomade and Brush. And I did use these a few times with another brush because I was using the brush that came with the product when I first tried it. And this is a bit too big to really work very well. And the only product you get is in this little end bit here. So I feel it's a bit of a scam. It says it has 1.2 grams of product. It is definitely a pomade, but it's sort of like stuck in this little tip here. It works fine enough if you put a brush in, but you need to have a brush small enough to go in here, first of all. The shade was okay. I think I might keep this around just to have a pomade on hand if I want to. But this is not something like you get all of this and I'm just a little peeved with how little product you get. Because I was thinking like, oh, this will be the product. No, 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 no. This is just the holder for the brush. And then the product is literally in this little end. I think it's a bit of a scam. Face sprays then. Currently in my Shop My Stash is this. This is what I use today to set my makeup. The Shake, Fix and Glow Spray by Catrice. Hydrating plus cactus flower and pineapple extract. I have to say that I think I like this a little bit better than the Sungasm one that I just used up. That came in a limited edition collection over the summertime, and I was like, I can just use it up. I really like these little sprays that Catrice does. I've used up a couple of their regular standard like Prime and Fine ones. This one is nice too. It does have, like, you need to shake it up like the primer I showed you at the start, and then it does have shimmer in it, but I feel it makes my skin look extra glowy, and I like that. For the winter time, I think it works. And then we have the Essence Fix and Last 18-hour makeup fixing spray. This wasn't my favorite. Where I like Catrice fixing sprays, usually the Essence ones, I'm always a bit iffy about. I had one, I think, in one of the product ranges last year that actually gave me a rash. This doesn't do it. No allergic reactions. But it's not a good one. It's just... like, it's one that I feel I could use up if I really... like, if I'm in a pinch, it works. But where this makes me excited to use it, and I like it, this doesn't. It just doesn't. It had a beard... like, it had a bit of a okay spritzer, but this is such a fine mist. So in terms of setting sprays, I would always go for Catrice over Essence. I just have much better experience with that. Are you ready for eyeshadow palettes? Let's just start with one that I wasn't a fan of. That's the Essence Daily Dose of Power. So part of the new changeover are these little 9-pan palettes. They also do neutral ones. But I was like, I want to try something fun. Look at that mint green. I love it. It's a bit of a strange color story though. The reds and the bronze and then this like goldeny shade kind of go together, and then you have the greens and the silver and the blue that kind of go together. So it kind of splits into two little palettes. I just didn't think the quality was anything to write home about. It's only like, it's like less than €5, I'm sure. So it's okay, but even for the price point, I think there are better eyeshadow palettes. Shall we just get to it? Because roughly around the same price point you can find these. And this is the 5-in-a-box mini eyeshadow palette by Catrice. I only bought one of these, and I actually am contemplating buying the other ones because I love this one so much. This is the 040 Modern Smoky Look. It's a cool tone color story. It's got like a charcoal grayish blue, and then another like deeper grayish blue, a very nice cool toned taupey neutral for the crease, like a creamy shade to blend things out, and then this shade is really stunning in the inner corner or like as a pop of something bright in the center of the lid. Like this tops really well over that shimmering blue. You get 2 shimmers, 3 mattes. It's got Natasha Denona vibes, but this retails for $3.99. $3.99, and it's lovely, lovely quality, which is why I want to try the other ones, because they have another rosy toned one, a warm toned neutral one, and then I think they have, like, there's 4 of them. And I think I want to try all of them by now, but this was the one that just stood out to me the most when these launched. And I was like, that's cool tones, that's something that I will like, and I absolutely love these. If you can find these, you're looking for a good mini palette to travel with, or if you just want to try Catrice Shadow, this is some of the best they've done. Another thing that was stunning by Catrice is their Vintage Soul Pro Slim eyeshadow palette. And this surprised me to no end. I tried the mauve toned one that they came out with in this spring, which is called Next Gen Nudes, I think. And I liked it. It was very sort of like Huda Beauty, new nude kind of vibes. I don't own that palette, so I now have the Catrice one to sort of tide me over, and I love that for it. But this one, Catrice was just onto something. It's lovely quality, first of all. These larger palettes are really lovely quality. They are $9.99. And this, can you see that? It's got grayish cool tones, but then also these like plummy sort of reddish tones. It's like ABH's Soft Glam and something like for instance, this shade really reminds me of Mulberry in the Soft Glam. Like this is almost like the same as Sultry in the Soft Glam, but then you get those cooler tones that the Sultry might have, you know? So it's sort of like if ABH Soft Glam and Sultry had a baby and kept all of the best parts of both of them. You get enough mattes in here. The black in here was actually quite nice. This Moon Dust shade is really lovely. It has a greenish undertone. The same goes for Garden. So this topped over that was absolutely lovely. Yeah, this Catrice made a color story that is interesting. And that's very now, because Melt came out with the Waiting Room palette in the Beetlejuice collection with reds and grays. Okay, it's a bit more plummy perhaps, and a bit more like rosy over here. It's a bit more neutral. But if you want to try that red gray sort of vibe that a lot of brands are trying to do right now, but a little less deep and a little bit more neutral, a little bit more perfect for every day and at a more affordable price point, this one. And I sadly have to end today's video on a bit of a negative note. I'm going to start with the things that kind of did work for me. And that's where we're talking lipstick now. And both Essence and Catrice came out with new lipsticks. Essence came out with the Clean ID Ultra High Shine lipsticks. I just grabbed one to show you. They also came out with the Full Satin Nudes. And then Essence came out with the Semi Shine. Is it called, what's the full name again? Let me see. This is Me Semi Shine lipstick. Of the Semi Shines by Essence, I decided to keep 4 around for like my everyday life because I quite like the shades. I'm not sure if I'm going to hang on to all of these because Essence does not typically make my favorite lipstick formula. These are nice. They are called Semi Shines though, so they're a little bit sheer, but not as sheer as I thought they were going to be. They have a really lovely nude. This is called 101 My Choice. This was a nice nude on me. And then I kept some of the brighter ones. So I have Secret Life, deeper shade. And then I kept Late Night, which is a red. What else is new? It was more like a raspberry red kind of shade. And then I kept 107 Wild Side. And this is one of my favorites on. This is more like a red as well. They had some lovely shades in that collection. The formula was very nice, very smooth. I actually did an entire video trying on all these lipsticks, so I will link the Essence video up there so you can watch it if you want to see everything going on and swatched and doing all that. So those I liked, but they did transfer. They did transfer, so that's why they're not my favorite. Plus Essence lipsticks, as I mentioned, not my favorite thing in the world. Catrice, however, completely missed the mark for me when it came to their new lipstick launches. Of the Clean ID line, I decided to keep not a single one. In fact, the one shade that would still intrigue me is the one that they didn't put out yet. At least as I'm filming this video, I haven't checked. This is this shade, Quite Peachy. These were weird. They looked strange on. It just, the undertones of these lipsticks just wasn't it. It just wasn't right. And the same thing goes for the Full Satin Nudes. I decided to keep only one of these. This is 050 Full of Boldness. And this was the only shade that looked nice on me. It's like a reddish tone neutral. That was the only one that worked. Everything else was either too pale. It was just 50 shades of beige. And then also these ones, like the undertones were just so strange. Again, I have a full video trying all 10 of the lipsticks that I have from both of these lines in one video. So I'll link it in the eye above so you can see, but I wasn't a fan. And I usually love Catrice lipstick, but these just weren't it for me. Like the shades were a bit off. Like the formulas were okay, especially the Full Satin. Like I already tried the regular line, and those were fine. Like they were okay, but I just prefer a matte, and I don't know, with these undertones, I wanted more. I wanted different shades. It was all a bit like 5 shades of the same thing over and over and over. So it was a bit, so a bit of a miss for me in the lipstick department, but in the eyeshadow, lovely. A good bronzer, a good highlight, some good primers, a nice setting spray from Catrice. What else do we got? Oh yeah, the Pretty Natural foundation from Essence. I also really, really enjoyed. That's one that I can see myself like using up completely before, you know. So they had some good products. There were a couple of disappointments, but also a couple of really, really nice products. So thank you very much for watching today's video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more by me. I make 3 new videos a week over on this channel, so I hope you would like to stay tuned for more. Bye-bye.